the relativity with the transformation matrix. Okay. So electromagnetic field and relativity. So that is the heading of today's topic. So almost we are coming to end of electrodynamics. So today is the last class for electrodynamics. So you can see here I have shown two frames of reference. One is the frame S and another is the frame S dash. Okay, and you can see S dash is moving with velocity v. That means it is an accelerated frame of reference, and S is constant, it is not moving. So that means this is a non-inertial frame and this is an inertial frame. Okay, so this is the formalism of relativity. So now what new thing I have added here? I have added electric and magnetic field here. So that means the variation of electric and magnetic field as a function of velocity. So that we are going to study further. Okay. So come to the next slide. So this already I have explained last class. So in S frame, the electric and magnetic fields, they are shown as E and B with this component, fine. And similarly, the accelerated frame S dash, they are shown by primes, Ex prime, Ey prime. So this is a primed quantity. Prime always refers to what? Accelerated frame of reference. So this already I explained in the last class. So you can see here, what does Lorentz transformation tell? So Lorentz electric field transformation equations are Ex dash equal to Ex, E gamma dash, Ey dash equal to this value, Ez dash is equal to this value, and similarly, the Lorentz electric field transformation equations are given by this. So this already I have shared in the notebook, WhatsApp notes. I have shared this. So I wanted to show you. So that's why I introduced this slide. Okay. So we did in the last class the invariance of electromagnetic field. So those who were absent, you can go through this. So we defined two terms. One is E square B square, another is E dot B. So these are called invariants of electromagnetic field. That means invariant means what? They are constant, or the value of this in the non-inertial frame, that is S, is equal to its value in the inertial frame. Okay. So this is the accelerated frame, this is the non-accelerated frame, S and S dash. Okay. So if you calculate the value of this bracket, it comes out to be constant. We did in the last class. I have shown that. Okay. And similarly, another factor E dot B. The dot product of electric field and magnetic field, if you take in inertial and non-inertial frames, if you calculate here, prime should come. Sorry, I forgot to put the primes here. Okay. So if you do in both the frames, then what happens? The value comes out to be same. Instead of putting prime, I have put here the frame itself. This is E prime, B prime, and this is B prime here. Okay, and this is E and B and B. This is fine. So this is the invariance of electromagnetic field. So this was proven in the last class. So this will come as 5 plus 5 marks question it is. Okay. And those who were absent, quickly I am going to brush up the memory. So you see here, in the accelerated frame I have taken it as E square, B dash square, E dash square. So what is B? It is I bx dash plus j by dash plus k bz dash, and square is that, and that square I have put it here, minus E prime. So Ex, Ey, Ez along with the prime, I have written a square here, and C square is a common factor taken outside. Fine. So now what you can do, it is a square, so you can open the bracket. So only what happens while squaring, I square j square and the k square terms will be left out, remaining are all 0. And similarly here, ex square, ey square, ez square is left and remaining everything is 0. Okay. So now you open the bracket. Okay. And substitute for dx, dy, dz, ex, ey, ez. And here one thing you should remember, ex prime is equal to ex and bx prime is equal to bx. So that is a Lorentz transformation equation. So I shared in the last class this one. Okay, you can see here x component of electric field is not varying, x component of the magnetic component is not varying, whereas y and z of electric field, y and z of magnetic field, it is varying. Okay, so that I am introducing. So you can see wherever bx dash comes, I have simply put it as bx, and wherever ex dash is coming, I am putting it as ex directly, and remaining other factors are substituted in the bracket. So now you do the simplification, open the bracket and do the simplification, add the similar terms. So then what happens, there are some terms will get cancelled. So remaining terms are c square into bracket, this whole thing, dx square plus dy square plus dz square, and minus bracket ex square plus ey square plus ez square it is. So now what is this one? This is b dot b it is. Okay, that means it is b square. And similarly this one is e dot e, that is e square. So that means the whole thing is nothing but it is c square b square minus e square. Okay, so from where we started? We started with this bracket, that is c square b dash square minus e dash square. So now we ended up what? We ended up at c square b square minus e square. That means this value is equal to this value. So we have proved the identity. What is the identity? The bracketed term in S frame, this is actually for S dash frame. S dash frame is equal to the term in the S frame. That is what the identity tells. So equal means what? It is constant. It is invariant of the frame of reference, whether it is moving or stationary. This bracketed term value always comes out to be constant. Fine. So next we will check another invariance, that is E dot B. So what we have to show? We have to show that E dot B equal to E dash dot B dash. We have to show this. Okay. So let us start with the primed term. So you can see E has substituted this. Okay. So I have given this components in one of the slides. I'll show you afterwards. First slide it was. Okay. And this is the components for B dash. So now you can see only I dot I will exist, j dot j, k dot k will exist, and remaining all terms it will become 0. Okay. So I dot I means it is ex dx, j dot j is ey by, k dot k is ez dz. Okay. So now what is this one? This is nothing but it is E dot B it is. You can see prime have gone. Fine. So now we started with E dash B dash and ended at E dot B. So that is why this is the identity. What is the identity? E dash B dash in the accelerated frame S dash is equal to E dot B in the stationary frame, that is S, non-moving frame, that is. Okay. So these are the two identities you have to remember. Electromagnetic field identities, these are all. So now we will come to electromagnetic field tensor. Already I have done this. So I am moving further. So this is a tensor. Those who were absent, you listen carefully. So this is a tensor. So tensor is nothing but it is in form of matrix. It can be shown in form of matrix. But what is the condition? Each element's value is decided by some law. And the law is common to all these 16 elements. So you cannot write different laws for different elements. All 16 should follow the same law. So then only we can call F mu nu. So this is a representation for a tensor. Tensor is, this is whole tensor. You should show it in the bracket actually, because right hand side is a matrix. This should also be shown in the form of matrix. So anyhow, so F mu nu is a tensor and it has got how many variables? It has got two variables. Nu is one variable, that is a row variable. It varies from, this is row 1 to 4, and nu is the column variable. You can see there are 4 columns. It varies from 1 to 4. Okay. So now I have introduced a new word here, covariant form. Last class I didn't tell this. So only I told this as a electromagnetic field tensor. So now I am introducing the new form, is called covariant form. So what is meaning of covariant form? Co means to assist. Okay. So this is in the positive sense. This will help the tensor, and negative sense helping comes in the next slide. I'll show that. So it is called covariant form of electromagnetic field tensor. So when it is called covariant form? So if the subscripts, what are the subscripts here? X, Y and Z. Okay. And mu and nu. Actually this is gamma, I have written nu it is. I could not type nu, I have written gamma here. Okay. So 5 variables are there all together. So you can see all are coming as subscripts. So you can see they are at the bottom right corner. That is subscript. Here also it is bottom right corner. If the representation is like this, then the tensor is called covariant form. It may be an electromagnetic field tensor or any tensor it is. So if the subscripts are written here, bottom right corner as a subscript, the variables are written as subscripts, then the tensor, it is called covariant form, or we say that the tensor exists in the covariant form. Okay. So now we'll go to the next form. So you can see here earlier mu nu was in the bottom. So now you see it is in the top right corner. And here also you can see the variables are on the top right. Okay, this is a convention of writing. So if this is the case of representation, then what this is called? This is called contravariant form of the tensor. So here, what tensor we are studying? We are studying electromagnetic field tensor. So this is contravariant form of electromagnetic field tensor. So what is the condition? The variables, they should appear as, this is superscript, not subscript. Typing mistake, I will write it here. They will appear as superscript. Okay. So if this is the formalism, then this leads to what? That comes in the next slide. So what is the condition? How to convert? So bottom means covariant, top means contravariant. It is same tensor, it has two different forms. So if you want to convert one form to another form, there is a conversion matrix is there. This is all matrix format, this is. Okay. So there is a conversion matrix. So this is called Minkowski transformation matrix. Okay. If it is an electromagnetic field, then the Minkowski transformation matrix will have this form. You can see here diagonal elements are all unities except F11, it is positive. Remaining are all minus, and all remaining are zeros. You can see here. So if you operate this Minkowski matrix on this, what is this one? Contravariant electromagnetic field tensor, then this will result into covariant field tensor. So you can take this as an exercise. So this is nothing but it is a matrix multiplication. Multiply this matrix by this matrix. This matrix value I have already given. So what is the value? This is the value. So after multiplication, you should end up with this matrix. So then only this law is verified. Otherwise the law is wrong. Okay. So these are the different formalism we come across in day-to-day life. So this ends up your syllabus, that is electromagnetic field tensor, covariant formalism. So I have also shown you contravariant conversion also. So along with that, I have to give you some transformation equations in the matrix format. So that slide I didn't introduce here. I will try to introduce in next class. So today only I have introduced some transformation equations, that is Galileo and Newton equations I try to introduce. Let me see. I have written, I think. Okay, it's here. Yes. So you can see this is the transformation equation. So this is the Galileo format. This is the Lorentz format. So Lorentz format, you can see here, Lorentz factor is coming gamma. So this is gamma 1 divided by 1 minus v square c square under root. This is okay. This Lorentz format was next extended to Minkowski space, and then the fourth coordinate was added there. So you can see there, you can see here, there is only 3 coordinates are there. This is an accelerated frame. Prime means accelerated frame. Without prime means stationary. Inertial frame. This is non-inertial frame. So non-inertial frame, only 3 coordinates are there. X dash, y dash and z dash. Okay. T is taken as a constant here. It is not taken as a variable. But here Lorentz added, this is actually transformation equation, T dash is also shown. But while doing the or observing the different types of phenomena, T is not taken as a variable. Only X, Y, Z is taken as a variable. Only 3 coordinate axes were introduced. Okay. So I have shown it in a format. You can see here. This is S, this is S dash. Only the Cartesian variable is taken into account. Time variation is not taken into account. Okay. So that was the mistake of whom? Mistake of Lorentz. So that was corrected by Minkowski, and that gave rise to Minkowski mechanics, that is, okay, 4-dimensional mechanics, and these vectors are represented in 4 vector form. Okay, and from that we came into covariant and contravariant forms of, actually these are all 4 vectors only. So whatever I am writing here, these are all 4 vectors. Okay, so this is a contribution by Minkowski space. Okay, so this 4 vector, what is the advantage is that they can be shown as matrix elements. Matrix operation is very easy, so you can very easily verify Maxwell's different laws. So here you see B and Y are there. Okay. So B and Y are there means you can concentrate on the Maxwell's equation, that is del cross B equal to 0 and del cross E is equal to minus dou phi by dou t. That is Faraday's law and magnetostatics second law, that is second law, Maxwell's second law. Okay. So those laws can be proved using this. Okay. So you do suitable operation and the operation will end up into Maxwell's equation. So this completes your electrodynamics portion. Okay. So I tried to make as easy as possible. So various different formalism I introduced and try to make the subject visualized. I try to make it visualized by introducing various slides. Okay. So I did my best to complete the portion. Okay. So one more matrix I have to give you, that is classical mechanics. So there is a transformation. That is you are moving from Lorentz frame to Minkowski frame. So how the vectors transform? Okay. So that transformation matrix I will send on WhatsApp, or I will put it in the slide, last slide here, and then I'll put it in the YouTube. You can go through YouTube and you can copy that. Okay. So this completes your electrodynamics portion. So if you have got any doubt,
Okay, ma'am.
anything is there, you can ask me. So next class onwards, we'll go for, what is that?